Welcome to With the First Pick, where we're going team by team to build a perfect 7-round mock draft. Who is on the clock today? We are breaking down the Green Bay Packers, their biggest needs, best fits, and sleeper picks that can make their draft. And by the time we are done, you'll have a complete blueprint for how they can dominate draft weekend. It's time to get on the clock. I'm Ryan Wilson. This is Mike Renner's Green Bay Packers. So, Mike, you are Brian Gutekunst, and I will be the GA who's visiting Packers HQ and taking care of all. All right, so they have 8 picks, starting with pick 23. You are leading the way, sir. You have to tell us what they need up top.
I have said before that my dream pick in this draft class for the Green Bay Packers is Kelvin Banks, the Texas offensive tackle.
What?
And sliding to there is my dream pick. I am that high on him. I think he's a Packers type of offensive lineman. And again, if you draft him with what they have in their fold already, you keep a top 5 offensive line for the foreseeable future. So he's on the board. That's my pick.
I liked Rasheed Walker coming out of Penn State, and I know he was a day 3 pick. How was he last year? Because I honestly did not watch a lot of Rasheed Walker.
He's probably, he's not a liability. He can be a problem in games, though. Like,
okay.
You aren't, if he's your left tackle, you're not like, I have to go get a left tackle. But you're just never going to have like a top 5 offensive line if he's your left tackle. He holds a lot. He's not a shutdown pass protector. They have to protect him on a lot of passing downs, obvious pass situations. I don't think that'd be the case if you drafted Banks in the next.
So it sounds like at some point during this rookie season, Kelvin Banks might get an opportunity to start.
Yep.
All right. Next up, pick 54. Got our offensive tackle. Didn't see that coming. That's the beauty of having a Packers fan on here, because the layup picks, the obvious picks, are like cornerbacks. So this was I love it. 54. What are we doing now?
This draft's setting up great for me because Jaden Higgins is what the Packers need in their receiving core. They need a possession, reliable type of wide receiver. Jaden Higgins, if he's anything, he is not a guy who drops footballs. They just have too many guys, whether it's Christian Watson, whether it's Jaden Reed, whether it's Dontavian Wicks, who just can get open, but they can't consistently secure the football. It's so frustrating to watch and so frustrating for Jordan Love. Higgins, not going to be that kind of guy. Just much more. And Love loves to throw into contested situations. He loves to throw jump balls. Higgins, that kind of wide receiver.
Love it. 6'4", ran sub 4.5. I don't think he plays quite that fast, but as you described him as a possession receiver, that's what he's there for.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ooh. A lot of people have called Marcus Embo a Packers type of offensive lineman because he has such good feet, because he has such lateral agility. I don't love his tape that much. The guy who I have highest on the board right now is probably Kevin Winston Jr., I think, the Penn State safety. Either him or Terrence Ferguson. I love them both, but it's like, gosh, they don't need tight end or safety. They got a log jam at both those positions. What they need right now, after all this, is probably defensive line or cornerback. So I'm interested to see what the corner or defensive line looks like. Obviously, a little bit of a run.
And by the way, as we're looking, Embo out of Purdue has 32-inch arms, which is going to be a problem.
Yes.
For some teams.
Well, so he was one that was, I think he measured a full inch shorter at the combine than he did the Senior Bowl. Because I think he was 33 at the Senior Bowl, if I remember correctly. So I don't know what teams are going to make of him. But the guy I'm looking at, who I really like, and who they probably need, if they're going to go defensive line, they probably want a plugger. Jamari Caldwell. A lot of people among Packers faithful have called him BJ Raji. Now, I don't see quite the explosiveness of BJ Raji, but definitely similar body types. And so I think that's probably where I'd lean. Even if I might have an ESP Bowles higher on my board, I just don't think he's what the Packers are looking for. He'd be too similar to like a Devontae Wyatt, to a Carl Brooks that they already have.
All right, let's do it. What do we got next? Pick 124, is that right?
Yep.
I think that's where we're at. It's coming together.
Ooh. Interesting. All right. Should we? I would love, because we haven't taken him anywhere else, and I love the guy's tape. Should we throw a Willie Lampkin pick in here?
If you're doing it, Packers fans can perhaps understand. Yes, absolutely.
Let's do it.
the second biggest Willie Lampkin fan after you, 5'10", 260, 32-plus-inch arms. And as I joke all the time, if you're 5'10" with 32-plus-inch arms, that's like 38-inch arms for anyone else.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He's a long, squatty dude.
Long and squatty. Love it.
Oh, man. Do we have to go Kyle Williams? I mean, I picked him a bunch, but like his tape's
Here's the
too
thing.
good.
Like on the
He's not
outside,
going to be there in the 5th. He's just not going to be there.
on the outside looking in, I don't think a lot of people think the Packers have huge wide receiver needs. Now, Christian Watson struggles to stay healthy, but do you think they have room for another receiver like a Kyle Williams?
It's the health of Dobbs, the health of Watson. So that's the worry. Yeah, I do agree. Signing Mecole Hardman now, I don't know if he even makes the roster, right? But it probably one wide receiver, and then I do tend to agree they're probably going to ignore the position after that.
Okay.
I like Quincy Riley here, though. Cornerback's a position of need. We haven't addressed it because I don't think it's like a massive need. They still have Jair Alexander under contract. It's kind of been like, will they, won't they? Well, as it stands right now, he's on the team. So it's not a huge need, so you can ignore it for the first few rounds. But I think Quincy Riley at this point makes sense.
All right, let's do it. Good player.
Ooh, trying to think. I haven't gone edge. Could be a position they'd address. Haven't gone linebacker either. Definitely could be a position they'd address.
And by the way, I mean, you know this better than I do, but their linebacker, Edge Cooper from last year, that guy's going to be really, really good.
So good. So good. Oh, all right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're not going quarterback with how Malik Willis played. And I don't think they're going running back.
Words you never thought you would say.
Right? Malik Willis, Packer legend with what he did last year. And
absolutely, man.
Running back, drafted Marshawn Lloyd in the 3rd, which is unfortunate because I think there's like 12 backs in this class I'd take before Marshawn Lloyd. But just by the nature of the draft sort of capital and the money invested in Josh Jacobs, I don't think they draft a running back this year. So,
all right.
I'm interested to see what like D-line and linebacker looks like here. That's probably where I'm looking at this point. If I'm the
so Slim Pickens at D-line, it looks like, although our guy Ty Robinson's there at the bottom. I'm a big Jamon Dumas Johnson fan in day 3, the Kentucky linebacker, but Jay Higgins is actually a good linebacker too at Iowa. So
yeah, I do like Higgins. He's just not an athlete, but like you got a great athlete in Edge Cooper.
Yeah,
I don't mind. I don't mind Jay Higgins at this point.
I love it.
Special teamer at minimum.
Chris Hassel pick Iowa legend. Chris Hassel, Jay Higgins, come on down.
He can teach Clay Walker how to play football.
And that's the other side of the conversation. Insanely athletic, and that's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay, here we got to go Ty Robinson.
All right, let's do it.
He's on the board too often this late in the draft, but
hey, let me ask you this: as again, someone who hasn't watched a lot of Packers closely and who loved Lucas Van Ness, how was his development last year?
Non-existent. And there was a little. I shouldn't say that, but just like his pass rushing toolbox is just I think Kyle had a good line earlier today that I'm going to steal. He said some pass rushers run to daylight, some pass rushers run to darkness. Lucas Van Ness just runs to darkness. Too often he just like does an offensive lineman's job for them. Yeah. He has to go through the chest of an offensive lineman where it's like you're just making your life too hard sometimes.
Especially given his physical tools. All right, that's disappointing. Maybe he'll turn the corner, but I was just curious because I liked him a lot coming out, even though he had never started a game, which was that big talking point a couple of years ago. All righty. What do we got?
Now we're almost at Mr. Relevant here. So it's Slim Pickens. You want to just scroll down the board, see who else is even available at this point. Ooh, do we throw out a Dan Jackson here? Or actually, I like a Marcus Weir. Just one more interior offensive lineman. We've drafted a bunch of O-line, but I do think that's just the Packers way, right? It's just to keep replenishing. I don't want to see any more Travis Glover after the playoff game, so we can go with Marcus Weir. Sorry, Travis.
Travis catching strays here. All right, here we go. I mean, the surprise. Kelvin Banks Jr. falls to the Packers here at 23. And then it's Jaden Higgins, possession receiver for Jordan Love. Jamari Caldwell to bolster that interior defensive line. Willie Lampkin, America's guard, gets picked here early-ish on day 3. I love it. Quincy Riley, the tough cornerback out of Louisville. Jay Higgins alongside Edge Cooper. Love to see it. Ty Robinson out of Nebraska. And then finally, Marcus Weir wraps things up, interior offensive lineman. And that wraps up the perfect Packers draft class. So all complaints to Mike Ritter. Make sure to subscribe to NFL and CBS on YouTube and download with the first pick wherever you get your podcast. And stay tuned for the for more perfect mock drafts because we are hitting all 32 teams.